Now, the leadership of Nigeria's National Assembly says no date has been fixed for the reconvening of the Senate. CNBC Africa's Kenneth Igbomor spoke to Adetokunbo Mumuni, Executive Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, to discuss this and more.
You see, the way patriotic and nationalistic National Assembly should operate will be whenever they think there is issue of matter of urgent importance, they should reconvene. Even in US, wherever democracy is being practiced, they may say we are on vacation. Sometimes you see them coming back to address urgent national issues. So I want to say, the president said, let the National Assembly sit to approve the budget of INEC regarding the election. That is a matter of national importance. So I think if they must sit, they have to come back from vacation. They have a veritable matter of national importance to address.
But when you look at the ripple effect of all the activities and what can happen from this, what do you think is the worst case scenario?
The worst that will happen is that there will be changes in the leadership of the National Assembly. Remember that you are only a senator first. Nobody came into the Senate as president of the Senate. Nobody came to the Senate as deputy president of the Senate. Nobody came to the Senate as leader of the majority party. Nobody came into the Senate as leader of the minority party. We came in as senators. So if that is at the back of the mind of the senators, those one becomes matters of personal importance. When the issue is about matter of national importance, the matter of national importance should predominate over matter of personal importance.
But when you look at all the activities that have happened, from the defections to the siege at the National Assembly, yes, it speaks of like a grandstanding happening between both parties, both the majority party.
You see, when matters that we have witnessed over the last 2 or 3 weeks happen within the polity, and we should get to know that politicians are the same everywhere. Either they are of ADP, they are of PDP, they are of APC, they are the same. What concerns them is, how can I personally leverage in respect of any issues? Let me ask you for asking sake. They've bickered in the National Assembly. They've been violent against themselves. When has any of this bickering been in the interest of the common Nigerians? I've never seen one occasion. So that is to say, so when politicians do their thing, we should look at them and ask ourselves, is this one in the interest of the majority of Nigerians? Remember that there are matters of biting importance to Nigerians. Poverty in the land, insecurity in the land, economy is not too strong. We just came out of recession. When have these legislators say, okay, let's take positive legal action in respect of matters that concerns Nigeria? No. But what we see is a fighting to dominate a space, political space.
But still on the worst case scenario,
yes,
we're looking at the timing of the elections.
Yes.
You know, do you see this impacting, you know, the elections going forward? Because we're talking about a crucial thing here, the budget of the country.
No, I think they also understand things that are important. They will also want to participate in the election. The election is not for the president. Whether the president comes last or the senators' election comes last, they are all in it together. I think they will find a way of passing the national budget and the budget of the INEC for the election. I don't have any doubt about that. But I know that there will be changes in the National Assembly.
So you're saying the issues around the sequence of the elections doesn't matter?
Because a court has said the National Assembly has the power to reorder elections. And if the court says so, that is it. Unless they want to appeal to the Supreme Court. But that is a current judgment of a court of competent jurisdiction. So they leave it like that. And they will pass. I know that the passing of the budget of INEC will take place because they are all in it together. And that's what I know.
Your organization holds policymakers to account on a variety of issues. One I would like to raise here is the issue of vote buying, what we saw from the Ekiti elections. Yeah. And I'd like to know what you are trying to do on this front.
Let me first of all say that before the Ekiti election. We saw it in Anambra. And don't let us play the ostrich. Our politics are demonetized from day one, except that it is now becoming something alarming. And that is why we are now complaining. You see, what some Nigerians want is that, the thing started a day before the election when civil servants who have not been paid salaries of more than 6 months started receiving alert from a particular party for the purpose of buying people's votes. So what people expect is that the APC that eventually won by declaration of INEC will sit back and APC will not take step to remedy, in quote, the situation in its own favor. So our politics are monetized already. Money has been playing dominant role in our politics. So don't let us pretend as if it is happening in Ekiti.
No, but we're going into 2019 elections.
Yes.
We really want the best for the country, and we want to see that when people break the law, they are seen to be punished, or there's some measures put in place to prevent things like this from continuing and we're going into the next elections.
Good.
So I'd like to hear what your suggestions are on how they should prosecute these cases, because we've seen that obviously she's been quite vocal on this front, talking about the fact that it's actually a felony and that it should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. What's your take on this?
I agree with that totally. Because when the electoral system is so muddled up and monetized, Nigeria will be worse for it. But the point that I am making is that it is not today. For example, electoral offense has been committed even since the election of 1959, election of 1964, election of 1979. Various elections, electoral offense have been committed. Have you ever seen anybody taking up on that issue? So we should learn to enforce our own laws. When we have laws governing a particular set of circumstances, and if anybody acts in violation of that set of circumstances, we should be ready to enforce our law, prosecute it as allowed by law, and that will be what is fair to me. So what Obi Ekwesili is saying is, we totally agree with it. We as a human rights organization that attempts to hold government accountable, we don't want to see a corruption of our electoral system. To us, buying of votes, no matter how little, to us is dangerous to the electoral system.